First place. Sierra Leone, a country with a zero health system performance index. The Republic of Sierra Leone is located in West Africa, bordered by Guinea and Liberia. The population is about 6 million people. In 1991-2002, the country survived a devastating civil war, and today it is recovering very slowly. Few Sierra Leone residents have access to medical care. A pregnant woman in Sierra Leone has the legal right to free health care, but there are almost no obstetricians and hospitals in the country who can take birth. Second place. Myanmar, formerly known as Burma, is the only Asian country on our list. It is a small state in Southeast Asia that borders India, China, Laos, Thailand and Bangladesh. This country spends on health care a smaller percentage of GDP than all other countries in the world. In addition, Myanmar receives the least international aid per capita. The average life expectancy in Myanmar does not exceed 50 years. Population under 15 years old. Although the government nominally supports free and accessible medicine, the lack of adequate funding means that these are just nice words. Third place. The Central African Republic is located in the heart of the continent, close to Chad, Sudan, South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Cameroon. This country has been suffering for many years from internal instability and hostility of numerous armed groups constantly fighting for power. In 2013, President Bozizé fled to Cameroon after the capture of the capital by rebels, and in January 2014, Jododia fled the country, who overthrew Bozizé. Political instability and lawlessness are combined here with incredible poverty and lack of infrastructure. The average life expectancy in the CARs is about 49 years, and unsanitary conditions and the absence of doctors regularly led to outbreaks of intestinal infections. Fourth place. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is Africa's hotspot, located near Angola, Zambia and South Sudan. This is a zone of ongoing military conflict that prevents the country from reaching an acceptable standard of living. GDP per capita does not exceed 400. In a 75 million state, the average life expectancy is 48.7 years, that is, not living up to 50 in the Congo is normal. About 43 of the population is under 17 years old. As for medicine, it is represented in the Congo by 1 doctor per 10,000 people, and in some areas this figure is unattainable. Congolese people are dying en masse from intestinal infections, malnutrition. Fifth place. Nigeria is located in West Africa and is a federal republic of 36 states. Nigeria is on the list of the poorest countries in the world in terms of GDP per capita. It is the most populated state in Africa, home to 174 million people. Nigeria is constantly suffering from the mass exodus of doctors and nurses. Specialists who can do anything at all tend to leave the country in search of a better life. The phenomenon of brain drain applies to all walks of life in Nigeria. This seriously undermines the strength of the country, because every qualified doctor is the money the government invested in training, which should have been of benefit to Nigeria. The result of a shortage of doctors. 20 of Nigerian children die before the age of 5, and the average life expectancy is just over 52 years. Sixth place. Liberia is a beautiful West African country on the Atlantic coast. It borders Sierra Leone, Guinea and the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. About 4 million inhabitants inhabit this country. This is the only country in Africa that the United States managed to colonize at one time. The largest medical center in Liberia is named after John F. Kennedy, and it was built with a UZ grant. Life expectancy is 57 years. Only 47% of the population crossed the 60-year mark, while 43% of the population is under 15 years old. Liberia is a country of extreme social inequality. GDP per capita in 2011 was only 297, with most of the income coming from not a small number of powerful families. Seventh place. Malawi is located in southeastern Africa, close to Tanzania, Zambia and Mozambique. This is a hospitable and interesting country with a very diverse wildlife nearby Lake Malawi. However, life in Malawi is short and hard. The average life expectancy is 54.8 years, and the average age of the population is 17 years. Here, 68,000 people die of HIV every year, a shocking figure for a country with a population of 15 million. Eighth place. Mozambique. This is a state in southeastern Africa that is located directly opposite Madagascar. Mozambique can be compared in size to Turkey, and the country's population is 23.9 million people. Almost 60 of them live on less than 125 a day. Average life expectancy is just over 50 years, and the average age of the population is 17 years. With such a young population, it is difficult to hope for the rapid growth of production and the economy. So far, 32 of Mozambique's GDP comes from agriculture, which employs 80 of the population. It should be noted that the country is trying to somehow improve health care. In 2011-2012, an additional 1,688 doctors and nurses were hired. This is comparable to the staff of one Western clinic, but for such a poor country this is a huge leap forward. Thanks to the additional medical staff, 4 million children were vaccinated against measles, and they began to distribute vitamin A preparations which many residents lack. 9th place. Lesotho is a small country in southern Africa with a population of less than 2 million people. About 40 of Lesotho's population is below the poverty line. By the way, the poverty line in this African country is considered an income of less than $125 per person per day. Incredible poverty, illiteracy and unsanitary conditions explain why the average life expectancy in Lesotho is only 49 years. Populations aged 15-49 are HIV infected. Lesotho is the highest country in the world. The minimum mark here is 1,400 meters above sea level. The beautiful mountainous region, streaked with narrow valleys, turned out to be a convenient route for marijuana traffic, which is the No. 1 earnings here. Lesotho also had the prospect of annexation by South Africa's powerful neighbor, which surpasses Lesotho in almost everything, including medicine. 10th place. Zambia is located in southern Africa, east of Angola and south of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. About 14 million people call this tropical country their homeland. Life expectancy in Zambia is only 55 years. One of the main causes of death of children under 5 years old is intestinal infections, which reign here because of unsanitary conditions and lack of clean drinking water. Almost half of the country's population is children under 14 years old because the birth rate here is very high and Zambians die early. However, according to the World Bank, the economy of Zambia is showing growth, so the country has a chance to improve the situation if the government invests in the health of its people.